Hi, everybody. It's Lace, and we are about 2 weeks away from launch, and I wanted to give everyone a gathering roadmap for cooking. We have basically 5 different ways that you can gather the components you need to cook. And that's going to be out in the wild, through the herb bushes that you harvest, also out in the wild, but they're specifically named herb bushes, provision crates, farmsteads, and then from fishing and skinning. Too often times folks are just leaving things that they've killed laying there. I'm like, hey, free XP for me. I'll skin it, no problem. I would also encourage you guys to do the same. So out in the wild, you'll find things like cranberries, blueberries, these berry bushes that I was just harvesting, strawberries, and more. So it's always nice to have a visual representation of what you're trying to harvest, especially if you're new to the game. So that's why I was trying to get a little footage of that. So you had the berry bushes, and now I'm doing the herbs. And I want you to take note that you'll see a little 1+ Azoth pop up there. That is the Azoth extraction perk that is on my sickle. I would love to get it on every tool, and I suggest you try to do the same within reason as you upgrade your tools. It's going to be very important for you as a crafter because it's going to cost you Azoth to try to get perks on items and stuff as you're crafting them, especially like armor, bags, anything like that, weapons. So that's going to be a very handy perk to get. Also, as I was gathering those herbs, you get a component called hyssop. Hyssop and water will make you weak health potions, which is a great way to level up your arcane crafting skills. So keep that in mind. Herbs are awesome to harvest. Now, hemp, of course, is not used in cooking, but the fibers, you'll use in your other trade skills, and I just can't walk past something like that. So you can also go to newworld-map.com, and from here you can go through and get the location of all the provision chests. These are going to have some of the components that you can't get out in the wild or from the farmsteads and things like that. They're ranked by tiers, and so you can kind of see what level the tiers are by looking at the map, and then from your relative position, you can see where the higher concentration is and stuff like that. Really getting provision crates to me goes hand in hand with going to the farmsteads, but it is a separate type of resource that comes out of them. So I just wanted to show it there. I will be linking my spreadsheet at the bottom for everyone too, where I'm kind of tracking where you can get exactly each type of item that goes into cooking, whether it be a blueberry, apple, or whatever. And here you can type for farm to find the farmsteads. Uh, it's just going to give you a pointer, but I'm going to show you a better way to see that. But this is an alternative way to see farmsteads. And I guess that segues us into that next section. So when you go to your map in game, you can zoom in, and if you've traveled around a little bit, you can look for these little icons that looks like a little picket fence with a farm. And when you mouse over it, it'll say farm. And inside these farms, they have plants, and they won't always be up, when you're there visiting, because somebody might have come around and gathered and stuff. But you can get things like broccoli, cabbage, corn, all kinds of things that are not readily available from the provision crates, herbs, or gathered out in the wild. And they're not your main cooking component, but they are like a secondary substitute, and it's free food. So you're already there at the farmstead grabbing provision crates. So even if you're going, let's say you're going out to a 25, 35 level area, hit these little 8, 9 level mob areas because there's free resources there that you are inevitably going to need for something, especially if you're what I guess people are calling themselves now, omni crafters. Uh, so I'm grabbing the hemp, I'm going to grab provision crates, I'm going to grab supply crates, I'm on my way to a much higher level zone, but while I'm here, I'll spend the 5 minutes just to go and get this, free food and resources. Another thing to consider too is cooking can take up quite a bit of poundage in your storage. And while I know most crafters would like to keep all their stuff in one place, I would think about maybe having a spot where you store all your alchemy stuff, having a spot where you store all your cooking stuff. I think that'll just help you with weight management. So fishing and skinning is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to skin mobs, and from that, you're going to possibly get some meat back. You're going to fish, and when you fish, you can. There are some recipes where you will just it'll just say 3 fish, so you wouldn't want to salvage the fish. There's other ones where you might need those fish for specific parts, so you'd want to salvage them and get fish fillets, fish oil, which you'll need to use to make cooking oil. So, I've also done some in again on the spreadsheet that I'm going to link. I have some quick lists on what you can get from what types of fish, where they can be fished at, saltwater fresh, things like that. And then there's also a quick list for bait. So that should hook you up for being able to go out and fish. And then again, skinning, like I said, pretty self-explanatory. So again, just to reiterate, you're going to find 5 places to get what you need to be able to cook, and that's going to be out in the wild or bushes, provision crates, farmsteads, fishing, and skinning. I hope this has been informative, and I hope to see you in New World in about 2 weeks. Take care, everybody. Happy hunting and be safe.